I hear people talking, hey, I'm going on a fast. And I say, whoa, well, hold on a minute. Now I'm keeping myself low profile in the lower right because I want to focus on the topic here, which is how we fuel our body. Glucose. It's mostly about glucose in this pathway. We have an organ, the pancreas. It releases a messenger called glucagon. And it's going to tell the liver, hey, take this blood sugar, glucose, and compress it into something really small and compact called glycogen. And just keep it there because we're going to need it at some point. And we're going to store glycogen in the muscles as well. And let's say it's getting around lunchtime and we're starting to feel hungry and our blood sugar is dropping. Well, our brain needs to function. And so the liver is going to break glycogen into glucose. All right, this pathway is pretty easy to remember because we go glucagon hormone, big G, glycogen for storage, and a third G, glucose or blood sugar. There you have it. That is how we stay on our feet. And it's also how we move because muscles are a hungry organ. And so this gluconeogenesis keeps us moving, keeps us thinking clearly. And when sometimes a patient gets dizzy, one of the first things we consider is, hey, is the brain getting enough sugar, right? Or if they're weak, hey, are the muscles getting enough sugar? What's going on with this gluconeogenesis? All right, so once we understand that pathway, which is, the regular way we function, then we can appreciate what happens when we fast. Because we still need to feed the brain and the muscles and everything else. In a fast, instead of using glucagon to move our body, we're going to switch to a pathway called ketogenesis. All right, in this case, we're going to draw from the fat or adipose. Now, adipose, it's big. We can't just use it for straight energy. We have to break it down into two molecules called glycerol and fatty acids. All right, not so important, but let's get the pathway here. And these fatty acids end up in the liver being processed. Now, if you dissect a human body, you'll see the liver is massive. It has lots of jobs. And one of them is to make fatty acids. And during a fast, we're going to use these ketones from fatty acids to fuel the brain. Isn't that crazy? And we're going to use fatty acids as ketones to fuel the muscles. And so you can see why fasting is so popular. We're instead of using sugar, we're using adipose fatty acids, ketones to make our body function. Now, there are some scary aspects to this because, honestly, gluconeogenesis is a beautiful pathway. I mean, it's what our ancestors used mostly to survive and function. But, if they didn't have enough food for days, they didn't just flop on the ground and die. Their body switched over. And so we can use this pathway, but we have to be careful because there's a limit at which ketogenesis is going to work. Everybody's different. And some people, they're going to start using proteins from their muscles for energy because at some point the ketogenesis will taper off. So we have to manage our fast very carefully because we don't want to be losing muscle mass and causing permanent damage. All right, so be careful out there.